we've heard all about it. As far as I can recall, this concept has been famous for about a decade now. But more recently, the relevance of this law has recently resurfaced thanks to Louise Hay's The Secret. The popularization of this material has led to people incorporating positive thinking into their daily lives, believing that they are able to attract success and happiness in almost all aspects of life itself. Coupled with the emergence of new ways to understand human spirituality, the law of attraction has been one of the popular ways to do it. As such, people usually talk about it, associating it strongly with concepts of abundance and positivity mindset. But what is it really? What is this law that seems to be part of human spirituality? The law of attraction, in its most basic sense, can be understood as aligning one's will and intent with the energy that they express. As users of this law, it is believed that if we focus on certain things in our life and pour in the positivity to such, they will happen. Advocates of this belief tell us that we can apply the law of attraction to almost any aspect in our lives. We can think of it as a positive way of harboring good thoughts and deeds. When we let our lives be decided by the negative ones, it is but natural to arrive at negative perceptions of the world. Given such, the law of attraction tells us that by consistently seeing and accepting the world positively, we also attract positivity in our lives. While you may have struggled with love and relationships over the past few months or years of your life, perhaps, by taking in this method, we might be able to work on our relationships and improve them. Here at Individualogistcom, we are a team dedicated to help you understand yourselves and improve your lives. As such, we have put in the effort to bring to you the law of attraction in a way that is not simply about positivity in every turn. As such, we have sought to outline for you how you can inculcate positivity in most aspects of your life, given that this holistic approach can change the way you look at life and love without even thinking about it each and every time. We have decided to give you a unique content by going with a two-pronged approach, both thinking and doing. On the first section, the thinking part will concentrate on how we can alter our consciousness in such a way that we integrate the law of attraction in it. By paying attention to the various levels of the mind and partially the surroundings, we can become more positive overall, while on the second section, the doing part, are real-world tips which can help us actualize the law of attraction for our love life this 2019. While some of these tips can be quite simple and known to us, reiterating them will allow us to remind ourselves of the fundamentals. By focusing on these few fundamental things, we can do small things in our lives which will bring us closer to our goals. Here are some simple steps to attract love using this law for 2019-1. The physical level. The goal of the physical level is to create an environmental condition where it can be conducive towards the dreams that we want to achieve. By focusing on the things around us, we will be able to create a favorable foothold, as our environment is one where our vision and dreams can prosper. While people often neglect this aspect of attracting our visions, this is actually one that matters more than we can imagine. If we are unable to create an environment where our ideas will flourish, then it will be more difficult for us to get there. Particularly in the case of love, we can attract it by subconsciously programming our psyche with the things around the house. If we keep on harboring negative colors, for instance, we are then not creating a scenario where we can move forward. Using a similar principle, filling your living space with love-inducing colors like traces of red can attract love itself more than we presume it will be. 1a. Remnants of the past. In doing the law of attraction, it is crucial to create an environment which empowers positivity. After all, its power rests in the mind, as such will attract the vision that one wants to achieve. Particularly in this case, leaving some remnants of the past, whether it be your living space, workspace, or bedroom, will only harbor melancholic thoughts. Sometimes, even when people are totally over their past relationships, keeping mementos can trigger negative thoughts. For instance, a simple hourglass which had no name whatsoever of the previous person but was given to you back then, will make you reminisce the past, and will pull you back. This is because when we have objects like this in our household, we cannot help but see the unique meaning imbued in it. While an object can simply be an hourglass with the function of visualizing time for us, its meaning can be far more than that. This meaning, while something that we can do away with, is something that we cannot get over from as long as we see that hourglass. As such, retaining these kinds of objects in your household will only make you stuck, and will not allow you move forward. Even when you are about to meet a new person in your life, whether it be a workmate, or a random person in your favorite coffee shop, you might not be ready to attract them. The remnants of the past can and will influence you, as it will be subtly part of your subconscious thoughts. 1b. Freeing up space for the new person. After removing some objects of the past, freeing up some space in your house or bedroom can be crucial in trying to positively attract the love that you are seeking. Much like in feng shui, allowing for an empty space will be one way of physically translating what's in your head into certain actions. By opening up some space, your abode can become an area where positivity can come in. If you have a cluttered area, it might be difficult for you to move forward. Your closet, for instance, might be filled with unnecessary stuff. These things need to be dispatched, as they can also retain the stagnant thoughts in your head. The law of attraction, while it is usually done verbally, is not only about saying and thinking it but also doing it. Allowing some room in your home will signify a space that needs to be filled. As such, filling it becomes part of one's subconscious thoughts, such that it will influence one to become more outgoing when meeting with others. If one's place is cluttered, then this might carry on to one's thoughts and dreams. The law of attraction necessitates that we do away with such limiting concepts. So, what are you waiting for? Get on with it this weekend. Move out those unnecessary stuff in your life. 1c. A positive object to connect with. If you are yet to have a special someone to share your space with, adding positive objects in your life can aid strongly in attracting love this 2019. The law of attraction heavily relies on visualization of what you want. If you cannot visualize clearly, then it is highly unlikely that you will arrive at your own goals. Similar to such belief, placing a positive object to connect with in your life will definitely help you in attracting love to your life. If your home, for instance, is filled with naturally negative stuff like stained glasses and dead animals, your outlook in life will also be influenced by it. But in the same way, if your home is filled with items naturally associated with love, it will most likely attract positivity. Selecting something that can help you make a positive outlook is essential for the law of attraction. For instance, the famed Mandarin Ducks can be one way of placing an item of positivity. Mandarin ducks are known for being a symbol of love in Asia, as they are completely loyal to their partners. This action has influenced how they are perceived, coupled with the story of the man who was about to divorce with his wife. By having these items, we get to program out subconscious to always select something and someone in life who's got a certain level of positivity within them. The way to attract positivity strongly connected to having a positive environment. This is a crucial principle in understanding the law of attraction. To the conscious level, aside from programming our external environment, we also have to pay important attention to our internal one. The mind, being our internal environment, is often categorized as the conscious, subconscious, and unconscious states. In this section, we will see how the law of attraction, particularly on the topic of love, can be applied on the conscious state of the mind. As such, it is crucial to note that the conscious mind usually covers our cognitive desires, goals, and visions for ourselves. It also includes our intentions, wants, and needs. If we are to utilize the law of attraction, it is essential for us to explore how it can possibly extend to the consciousness of the individual. 2a. Make your intentions clear. People often miss out on this section simply because they think that it is enough to know what you want. However, knowing what you want is never enough, given that there are a lot of things that is happening in our lives. More often than not, knowing what we want doesn't lead to having what we want. This is, of course, because there is a big gap between the two. Such huge gap of knowing and doing often blocks people from achieving what they should have been capable of. With this predicament, it is vital that we then clarify what we really want with ourselves. By clarifying, we get to further elevate the value of the idea in our heads, not simply as a dream, but as a goal in life. For instance, we can dream of having the perfect partner as we watch those dramas on the television. However, simply having an idea of the person that we want to have in our lives never really leads to having them, does it? Making intentions clear to the person will signify a development, given that when we assess them, we know that these are the qualities we are looking for in an individual. By identifying exact qualities, we are not in our mere wishy-washy idea of who we want to be with, rather, it engages our mind in actively searching. Because we have a clear idea in mind, it will be a whole lot easier for us to see through people and the qualities that we are looking for. To create a proper goal with a daily objective with clear intentions. We can now proceed into making clear objectives. The first part makes it clear to us what kind of individual we want to have with our lives. But having a clear idea is not enough, for even when we perfectly know what we want, we cannot get there if we do not place it as a goal. By clarifying our goal, we get to begin the process of creating a step-by-step procedure of how to get there. This is impossible if we are unable to set the goal in the first place. In the case of love, having a clear goal will set you off to identifying what you want to happen in your love life. For instance, intention is already clear to try and date a person with good values. You can then proceed to setting the goal of dating a Christian person. How do you actualize this goal? Since your goal is clear, then you can now begin with a number of steps to reach there. In this case, you can decide that your daily tasks will be to include knowing more about Christianity so that when you get to meet them, you are already familiar with such. From here, we can see that even when you aren't really out there yet, meeting the one that you want to be with, you are already doing concrete things in your life in order to attract the kind of love that you want. This is the law of attraction, not only as a mere idea, but letting the idea take you over. 2C. Making your vision board. Whether it be in relationships, money, or anything else that you yearn for, the vision board is a standard and crucial tool in the law of attraction. The vision board is usually defined as a collage of images that will remind you in a crystal clear manner of the things that you want to achieve in life. Whether it's the classic American dream or not, the vision board will help you actualize this quest. The function of the vision board is to consistently remind you of what you need and want to achieve in life. By clinging on to it, it will be easier for you to achieve what you need to do. In this case, you can create a separate vision board for love, or you can integrate it into your whole vision board. What is important, anyway, is that we are able to concretely visualize through our vision board. While some may disagree, this may actually make all the difference in the world, given that the vision board is different from mere visualization. For example, even when we are able to visualize in our minds, such can be cluttered from time to time. But if we create a physical vision board, even when our minds can become occasionally cluttered, the vision board remains constant and the same. Thus, in order to positively attract love, we have to take advantage of this by concretely freezing our idea of how our life should and will be. 3. The subconscious level. The next level in the series of understanding the internal implications of the law of attraction is the subconscious level. Different from the conscious one, the subconscious level is the part where everything we know and experience is absorbed, yet we are basically unaware of. For instance, as you are driving downtown, you are seeing that black Toyota pickup, yet you are not consciously minding it. A few moments later, you might even not recall it anymore. However, this information is translated into your brain without you knowing it, because you are not consciously thinking about it. As such, this level is crucial if we truly want to move forward with the law of attraction, simply because it taps onto our extra resource, allowing us to condition our minds to the goal that we want to achieve. While there may be a lot to be discussed in the subconscious level, our focus for this article will solely revolve on the aspect of habits. Great thinkers usually say that developing the best habits is way better than being smart or rich. This is because most of our actions are not constantly decided by the conscious mind. Rather, we rely on the power of habits, doing what we usually know or want to do. The same concept applies even in the case of love, despite its complexity and authentic nature. By paying attention to our habits, we are able to positively attract the kind of love that we want in our lives. 3a. Remove bad habits. The first step in applying the law of attraction in the subconscious level is to try and be aware of bad habits. Just as when we are preparing some soil to become fertility, the initial steps usually include the task of weeding out. By removing the unnecessary plants that are growing, we are able to prepare good soil for the plant that we want. If we continue to let the useless plants to grow beside our plant, then they will inevitably consume some of the nutrients in the pot. In this case, although our plant may grow, it might now achieve its potential due to useless weeds. In the same way, this concept can be applied to the case of our habits. Good habits can grow if only we can remove bad habits. Otherwise, our bad habits can possibly take over, and prevent us from being subconsciously good. As such, in the case of love, some of the bad habits that we have to remove include being too argumentative or timid, self-centeredness, and insensitivity. Love, as a dynamic, requires that we open to the other and try to be in sync with them. If we are too argumentative, we may push people away without knowing it. Being too timid can also discourage them from engaging with us. Moreover, self-centeredness is, in most cases, not appealing in a potential love relationship. When one partner is unable to bend for the other, this can become problematic for an endless number of reasons. In the same way, insensitivity will also make people around us uncomfortable, to a point that it may prevent any love relationship. As we become aware of some similar bad habits, we can possibly avoid the trap of being subconsciously unlikable. As we pay attention to these subtle influences in the way we act, we are better off in actualizing the law of attraction. 3b. Create good habits. The next crucial step that we have to take is to follow it up properly. When a soil is left unattended, it is but natural that undesirable plants will grow in it. However, if we are quick in filling and nurturing it with the plants that we want, the unnecessary ones have no time to take over. Habits also work in the same way. By removing our bad habits, we have parts of our subconscious which can be treated as an empty slate. This empty slate is an opportunity for us to fill it in with good habits, which we can nurture until they become naturally parts of us. Such is the goal, to have habits which are good, and become part of ourselves. This begins with selecting the right ones, the ones which are in line with our goal to nurture positivity through the law of attraction. Particularly in the case of love, it is important to pay attention to some of the good habits that we can create. By looking at the bad ones, we can get an idea of good habits that we can actually pursue. After all, our bad habits are usually in excess or opposites of the good ones. Some of the actual good habits that we can pursue are understanding, kindness, and patience. Being able to be naturally understanding to all persons can possibly attract a love affair that we want. People love it when we become sensitive yet prudent on ourselves and on others. By being such, we can become someone desirable to be with. Similarly, kindness is a habit that if we can nurture, can become naturally a part of us. Being kind allows us to treat everyone with respect, regardless of their context and social status in life. Finally, being patient is one of the key habits that we have to develop if we want to attract love and be in a successful love relationship. While commonly preached and overly emphasized, patience is the key to not losing one's temperament, allowing both the head and the heart to decide. Together with a long list of positive habits that we can nurture, these 3 can play a vital and decisive role in our quest to positively attract love this 2019. 3C. Reinforce existing and new positive habits while being able to remove the bad ones and add the good ones is a great leap forward. We must say that it isn't enough. Adding the good habits in a soil clear of bad ones might give the positivity a chance to flourish. However, it would not be complete unless we are able to consistently and unconsciously incorporate good habits into our lives. As they say, one good deed doesn't make a good man. In the same way, telling the truth once doesn't make you an honest man as well. The point in this is that when we do good or say the truth, that doesn't necessarily make us good or honest, because these are not acts, but traits to be embedded in us. When we continually repeat them, they can easily become a part of our who we are, as we do good and we tell the truth without thinking. In the same way, harboring wrong deeds and thoughts can lead to negative traits, which can subconsciously be a part of who we are. If we continually pay no attention to them, they can easily define us, just as a weed will grow big enough to become a plant that we don't want. As we seek to attract love this 2019, it is crucial for us to pay important focus on this subconscious aspect, as it can define who we are. If we want love, use the law of attraction. It's not simply a declaration of what we want to happen or who we want to be. If we want to be kind, patient, and understanding, it is not enough that we do it once or we do it as long as the conditions are favorable to us. Rather, what's even more important is for us to do it in a manner that is not selective on others so that it can truly become part of our lives. Given such, the law of attraction is reliant on constantly being able to repeat good thoughts and deeds, such that they become part of our subconsciousness, without us needing to constantly think of them. When we execute them as if they are natural reflexes within us, we need not think of them anymore. By being aware of this, we give ourselves a genuine chance to let the power of positivity and the law of attraction to work its magic. Point 4. Transcending the mind. Tapping onto the spiritual level. Aside from the subconscious level, we can also tap onto the spiritual level as one of the aspects from which we can draw out the power of positivity. What transcends beyond the self and the mind is the spirit, for its forces and powers extend beyond what we usually recognize. As such, they are often highly regarded because, for most part, these energies are considered universal and primordial in nature. If we are able to harness this energy, it would be to our greatest benefit, for it is the life force of the universe itself. Being able to use this and align it with our vision, the law of attraction will amplify itself more than what we can imagine. In this section, the spiritual level refers to transcendental practices that we can do in order to tap onto the energies and vibrations around us. Particularly, we will be exploring ideas of how meditation, healing crystals, and chakra healing can help us attract more love in 2019. 4A. The power of meditation. The power of meditation is one of the more popular and easy-to-do ways to use the law of attraction. If we look at the law of attraction, we can see that it seeks to program our life in such a way that it is filled with positivity. By doing so, we hope to get nearer to the kind of life that we want. But for most cases, the problem with our lives is that it is filled and cluttered by a lot of unnecessary things. Whether it be issues from work or from our family, we usually have a lot to think about to even have time to reset our life and allow positivity to flow. For instance, when we are too engrossed in our work, we may have less time for other things. I'm not even talking about actual time itself. Rather, I am talking about instances wherein we're supposed to hang out with other people, enjoy a vacation with our family, and yet we're preoccupied with the unfinished things in the office. In this case, even if we wanted to be positive about things and attract love, we would find it difficult to do so, just because of the sheer number of things that concern us. To address this problem, it is crucial to tap not only to our habits but to the core of ourselves, and create an environment where it fosters peace and tranquility. We can do this through the practice of meditation, as it seeks to empty our minds of the concerns that are not currently present within us. As we constantly think about the past and the future, we cannot help but be restless. Instead of focusing on the now, we become jittery and worried about unnecessary things. Meditation seeks to change that, by addressing the root of the problem within ourselves. By giving to ourselves that well-deserved break and rest from within, we get to move forward and add positivity in our lives. Particularly in the case of love, meditation will help as it will allow us to relax and not panic about things. Sometimes, it can be difficult for us to find love because we constantly seek it. The practice will allow us to step back and reassess from a distance the things that we want and should do. Following this process, we can give ourselves a better shot at love and attracting it, given that we are not preoccupied with unnecessary things. By constantly giving ourselves breathing time, we are able to become more positive and desirable persons overall. 4b. Using the power of healing crystals. Another way to do a spiritual approach is by way of healing crystals. Recently popularized, people believe that these crystals contain energies within them, which can positively influence the way we lead our lives. As they are created in a harsh environment, these crystals often have the energy of Mother Earth within them, translated to vibrations to our body. By using some healing crystals, we are better able in doing our positivity work, as their existence will help us ease some of the tensions within ourselves. Taking advantage of what they have to offer, healing crystals can become a great part of our journey of mastering the law of attraction. In the case of love, we can apply the power of certain healing crystals. One particularly powerful healing crystal that we can use, in this case, is thulite. Thulite is known as a variety of zoisite but is distinguished due to its pinkish color variation. Basically composed of manganese, the amount of such will decide the variations of its color from pale pink to deep rose, possibly mixed by black, gray, and white colors. This stone is significant in our law of attraction for love, given that this one stone signifies the pursuit of love itself. On the level of intentions, thulite is most powerful in amplifying one's quest for pleasure and challenge. While pleasure can be quite confusing, we can interpret it as romantic happiness, perhaps. Furthermore, on the subconscious level, thulite for two things. First, it helps a person overcome their limits. This is crucial in the whole process of the law of attraction because for most part, we fail to attract the love that we want because we perceive ourselves as limited to the options that we have. The law of attraction is empowered by an abundance mindset, and failing to see that we can surpass our own limits may be our own hurdle as well. Second, thulite is known to subconsciously stimulate romanceality within a person. By having it with us, we are empowering positivity as we allow its power to take over us. Given such, we can say that this crystal can be a great example of how we can align earthly vibrations with our own vision. By incorporating it as a part of our lives, we amplify the power of our own attraction. 4. Understanding your heart chakra. The final step in this series of using the law of attraction for love is in understanding your own heart chakra. Known as Anahata, the heart chakra is the fourth of the traditional 7 system chakras in your body. Physically, it can be located at the center of the chest and is responsible for your love and relationships. It is the gateway from which you are able to relate and be with other people. By paying special attention to the heart chakra, one is able to manifest their energies well, as it is the pathway to the heart. The key in understanding this fourth chakra pipe in our body is that we have to take it as the doorway